And joining us on the line, it's great to be chatting to her again. Welcome back to Flow, Jayne Denham. G'day, Jayne. How you doing today?
Hey, Clayton. I'm really good, thank you. Thanks for having me on the show.
It is always a pleasure. Last time we were talking about your song Porch Party, which I think many of us did. And so have you been having any porch parties of late?
Well, that song came out right after lockdown, if anyone remembers. We actually did the video for that a week before lockdown. We kind of heard that there was some sort of weird flu, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being like a really cool song for COVID. And people were ringing me up going, my neighbour's playing it in their backyard and things like that. So it was kind of a weird thing to have such a fun, upbeat party song when everyone was locked down last year.
Kind of the song we needed at the time, really, which...
Yeah, definitely.
It was a song for the time, so it really did well, and we enjoyed that. But how are things for you at the moment? Are you coping with everything? You're keeping safe?
Yeah, look, I'm in the Blue Mountains, and we haven't sort of got any cases here, but we're classed as the red zone. So we are in lockdown, unfortunately, but... Look, I've spent the last 18 months being really busy since Porch Party. I started writing just because I had nothing to do, and then I ended up going, you know what, I'm going to record a whole album. And so I've been really busy recording the new album, and I'm looking forward to having it out. And
the thing is, with this new album, it's... dare I say it, and many just sort of cringe when they hear it mentioned, but I'm saying it's almost like a concept album in a way, and that's something I mean as a bloody good thing, and about time too, because I love the concept album. I absolutely love them.
Thank you.
And,
well, that's exactly right, yeah.
I mean, people have... I've some so-called, in quotations, music critics don't like them, and I think they need to get whacked around the head with something. But I've loved them, and I think back to the first one I was ever introduced to was War of the Worlds by Jeff Wayne, and then there have been so many others. But whether it's been a prog rock thing or whatever, country artists have done them, it doesn't matter. I just love them because I like the journey that you as an artist are taking me on. I don't know where I'm going, but I want to know. And I want to know how I get there. And I might not like the journey. I might love the journey. I don't know. But I love the idea of it. And so thank you so much for doing one and bringing back the concept album.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice. Well, it sort of started because the latest single, Wanted, was the first song I wrote. And I wrote it with Matt Scully and Troy Kemp. And I said to them, I've always done sort of tough songs or upbeat country rock is my wheelhouse, I guess. Yep. And I wrote Wanted with them, and I said, let's do, because of the word wanted, it sounds so Western anyway, and I was like, let's do like a country rock meets Western tough gunfighter chick vibe for the song. And Matt Scullion did this really cool spaghetti Western, like I'd probably call it bonanza guitars, probably the best way to put it. And it just sparked an idea, and I said, oh, my gosh, can you imagine if I did a whole album under that umbrella? And they were like, you should do it. And I'm like, I don't know, it's so different. Like you say, it's stepping out of the box, I guess. And Matt and Troy are like, Jayne, you have to do it. It's such a good idea. You can pull it off. And so I rang my producers in Nashville, Brian White, and I said to him, look, I've got this concept idea. What if we do this whole album where and he actually describes the album as country rock with a big service spaghetti Western on the side. So it gives you I sort of wanted to get modern day country rock, but bring in all old school Wild West Western movie sounds and themes and things like that. And so we kind of went from 0 to 100. And then I said to him, and the other thing I want to do is add sound effects in between songs so it feels like you're listening to a movie. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. And it is a bit weird because you can't shuffle this song. So if you go to like a digital and you shuffle, it's kind of not really going to make sense. But that's the whole point, because I did it in a vinyl, and obviously if you play 1 to 10, it completely makes sense. But we did it in a vinyl, and we did it on CD, of course. But it's the idea is the concept of a musical journey, like you are stepping back into a Wild West movie. And look, to be honest, I kind of just said to them, so I don't want to follow trends. I don't want to tick any boxes. I don't. Let's just make music and art for the sake of it. And if people like it, great. And if they don't, that's okay too. Like, we had a good time, and we were all locked down while we were doing it, so it was fun.
Well, I just love the whole idea of it, as I said, and the concept albums. I just love them, and I'm calling it that. It probably, well, I think it is. I'm calling it a concept album. I just love that idea, and it's been because I guess I grew up with albums, and I'm an album fan, and it's just like, okay, I'm not just going to hear one song from Jayne. I'm going to get to hear, well, you said 10, so I'm going to get to hear 10. And then I'm going to know I'm just going to go somewhere. So I'm going to put on my Clint Eastwood hat. I'm going to have my picture of John Wayne to the side. And I'm going to have Trinity over here. And then I'm going to have Bonanza. I'll have that just on the background. And I'm just going to immerse myself in it.
Well, it's funny. I keep saying to people, it sounds better if you sit down in a chair with a nice strong drink.
Oh, okay. What are we talking? Some firewater here or what?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I'll leave that to your imagination. It was funny, actually, because Graham Connors got wind of the fact I was doing this different album, and he said to my agent, I really want to hear it. And so Jeff said, Graham Connors wants to hear your record. I'm like, oh, okay, that'd be great. Anyway, I sent it to him, and he rang me up, and he's like, what is it? I love it. He was like freaking out. He was like, this is so different and so unique in country music. And he said it's like, he called it a country rock opera.
A country rock opera? Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. So, yeah, it's been really nice to have people sort of get that I am trying to do something a bit different. And I think with the way the world is and the way everything is, and music's a lot throwaway more now at the moment, but I really wanted to make an album that was, I guess, like I was saying, not necessarily trendy, but just some music that people could really immerse themselves in and hopefully enjoy.
And I think that's exactly what we'll do, and I'm looking forward to doing that. I need to ask you, though, do you have any Guns N' Roses tattoos?
No, I don't. But I'm a huge Guns N' Roses fan, so and we have to do Dead or Alive in the live show as part of the experience, or I think it just wouldn't be the same. So it is on the set list.
Yeah, you make reference to that in the song, so I just thought, well, maybe she's got one. We better ask the question. So there you go. Tell me about the video, because I gather it was a COVID video because there's only you in it.
Oh, it is. Very good spotting there. Yes.
Well, apart from the scorpion at the end, which I'm not giving anything away by saying that, folks, but apart from the scorpion, Jayne's the only one in it.
Oh, well, do you want to hear a little secret? So this is literally what happened. So it was meant to be completely different, and the lockdown started, but there were rules, and the rules kept changing, and you had to, obviously within 24 hours the rule could be changed and everything's off, like these poor people getting married now they can't. Literally within 12 hours of it happening. And so we had this little window of time where we were allowed by law to go out to Silverton. We went and got a COVID test, Jayne and myself and his mum, who helps him out on set. And we found out all the rules by law we could do it. And so we literally jumped in the car, drove 11 hours out to Silverton in Mad Max country where we wanted to film it, because we knew the soundtrack's so epic. The song's musically so epic. It had to have the visual with it. So we literally got in the car, drove out. We weren't allowed to go to restaurants or pubs. We were only allowed to have takeaway, and we were only allowed to go to our hotel room, as in part of the people that were where we lived. Yeah. Anyway, we did it. We came back, and 4 o'clock, I think we got home at 2, and by 4 o'clock the rules changed, and we would never have been able to do it.
Wow.
So we were so lucky. Oh, my gosh. So I'm like, we only just skimmed in to get that done. So it was certainly worth it, because it's turned out Jayne's done an incredible job.
Oh, he has. His cinematography is absolutely brilliant on this, and he's certainly done it in such a way that makes you, well, after watching the clip a few times now, I'm sort of like, I need to go and get that Good, the Bad and the Ugly out and watch that. It's just maybe all those old classic westerns. I just feel like, putting an afternoon on of just John Wayne films, because it's just, that's what's
exactly.
it's just so beautifully done.
Yeah, no, he's terrific. And when he heard the track, he just knew visually it had to be out there. He kept saying, I said, Jay, I don't want to go out 11 hours drive to film a video. He goes, no, you don't understand. When we get out there, you'll understand. And when I saw it, and the sunsets and the sunrises out there are just incredible. So the colours that are in that video, there's no colour grading. That is actually how it was. Yep. So, yeah, he's very, very clever.
I specifically enjoyed the close-up of your blue eyes too.
Yeah, I'm coming to get you. That's the whole concept.
Yeah, no, it's brilliantly done, beautifully done, and it's a great clip.
Thank you.
Urge people to check it out. Now, Jayne, what's happening? What's your crystal ball telling you about the next few months into the end of this year? And because you've got an album out, you want to be able to tour and play it, but there are so many question marks about that. So what's life looking like for you as we go forward?
Yeah, well, we had the biggest tour I've ever had in the calendar, and including we've got a show coming up in South Australia. Sorry, the dates just escape my memory at the moment, but you can check it out on my Facebook and website and things like that. But it just keeps shifting. And so I had all these gigs locked in, and they're all now not happening. Album launch in Mackay, the whole thing, it's all off. So, look, but I kind of think it is what it is. I can't change it, but it gives my silver lining on this is I feel like because the album is recorded and created to be the way it is, I feel like, because the show is also going to represent that. Like, I've really worked hard on putting a show together that brings the album to life. Like, we're going to bring all the sound effects that are in between the songs as part of the show. We've got video, blah, blah, blah. So I just feel like it's going to give people an opportunity to get to know the album and get their, I guess, understand it. And then when they come out and see us do the live show, it's going to be even better because they'll be able to sing along to the lyrics and things like that. So, look, I don't know. I hope we get to come down and do the festival in South Australia, and also there's groundwater on the Gold Coast, but you just really don't know, I guess. Yeah. I mean, fingers crossed that happens.
Well, just so folks can know, and I'm looking on your website now, JayneDenham.com, on the dates tab, and the show, it's on the 16th of October. It's Country by the River in Murray Bridge, so that's where the date, and you can click on a link there for tickets and get organised to go along and see the show. So, yeah, we're keeping our fingers crossed because I've spoken to a couple of other artists that are going to be there, and I'm trying not to mention it because I don't want to jinx it. So I'm mentioning it but not mentioning it, if you know what I mean. I just don't want to jinx it. I just don't want to jinx it because I have been blamed for some others that have just been cancelled. So I'm just trying...
It's all your fault.
Yeah, I just try and talk them up and then suddenly they don't happen. So I'm just...
I think that's happened with every gig, just quietly.
So I want it to stop because I want you out there and performing and doing, because that's what you love doing. So, but we're keeping our fingers crossed and everything else in between, and that it'll happen. So good luck with that. And then, so you're touring, and what about for next year? Are you going to look to do another concept album? Is that sort of something you're planning in the back of your mind?
Look, I think I'll just sort of see how the reaction goes with this album. It's funny because then I've had people saying you should turn this into a musical and get a scriptwriter, and people are loving it that much. It's like Roger Corbett from the Bushwhackers just went berserk over it and said, you have. But I'm like, dude, I just got to get the album out. I can't think that far down the track. So you never know. Look, it was fun to make, and I've actually got some other things I'd been working on before I created the record that ended up not going ahead. So I do have other songs that I'm working with other people on, and I think I'll just sort of see how it goes. There's plenty of singles on this record, so I feel like I may drop a few more even after the record's out, just to get the music out there and, just see how next year evolves and what that looks like. But I don't know, if people like it, I wouldn't mind doing another record like this because it really was a lot of fun. And I've created the character myself as well on stage. I've got the gun holster and the gun and the hat and the coat, and I had that all created as part of it. So, you never know, I might do another album. I've actually got some song ideas up my sleeve already, so who knows.
Jayne, you had me at whip when I saw that. Yep.
I said to Jay, I'm not sure about this. I'm not very good at it. He goes, don't worry, I'll just speed it up. So I might look good, but I'm actually not that good.
All the techniques that those cinematographers and filmmakers use that you don't think about. But that idea about a musical, I think you need to think about that. Just quietly. I think you need to think about that, Jayne.
One of those things where when Roger said it, I'm like, but I then got overwhelmed at the whole idea of how does that happen? What does it look like? But, you never know down the track. It could come out to be quite a cool little theatre show. So you never know. Never say never, I say.
Yes, and a musical like that, it could really take off. So you never know. The whole idea, if someone comes in front of you right now and happens to start talking about musicals, grab them, and then away you go. And I think it'll be Wanted the Musical. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
It's funny.
Jayne, it is a pleasure chatting to you. Good luck with everything with the album. I'm so looking forward to sitting down with my collection of westerns and that, and then watching it and getting inspired. I'm just feeling it right now with a plate of beans and some grits.
That's actually one of the posts I'm about to put up with him with his beans going, Jayne's album's out tomorrow, get on it.
I'm looking forward to it. Yes, we do indeed. All right, Jayne, thank you so much for spending time with us today on Flow. Good luck with everything. Hopefully we'll be chatting again soon. We've got your song here ready to go. If you could please introduce it for all our Flow listeners.
Sure, thanks so much. Well, here is my country and western song and title track of my new album, Wanted. This is Wanted.
She branded on her truck license plate. Driving in the fast lane, she's got no time to waste. There's a trail of wreck and ruin that she's leaving behind. Living like a gypsy, yeah, she's so hard to find. She should be on a poster